I gave half my lottery winnings to my ex. Now my girlfriend's furious.
Well, good news. You can get a new one because you won the lottery.
I'm 35 male and was with my ex from school until 5 years ago. We have a child together too that we both co-parent really well. We never fell out and with each other, but the love and attraction has all gone. She cheated on me, but there's more to the story than that, and it's not all on her. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Lottery, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, 2 years ago, I happened to win around £4 million on the lottery. My first thought was my child. I wanted him to grow up with an equal life like he has mine. And the less stress his parents have, the less stress he has. I decided to split the win with my ex. We have both been sensible with the money. I quit my job as a mechanic, took my sports and football coaching badges, and with a friend, we started a business going around primary schools doing classes in all sorts of sports and fitness, and also helping out local sports clubs and teams with coaching and methods, etc. It will never make us rich, but we make around 1.5 times the national average wage. I bought a 300K pound house and a 40K pound car, and that's about it. My ex opened up a beauty salon that's doing really well and also bought herself a house. I met my current girlfriend on a night out around 6 months ago. Things have been going well. She knows I won the lottery, and that's why I've got a nicer house and car than my income would normally provide, and why I like to go away on a couple of nice holidays a year. She's never asked for anything from me materially, and kept insisting on covering half the dates despite me offering to pay every time. We are getting more serious, but nowhere near moving in or anything like that, or her meeting my son yet. It all came to a head last week when the subject of my ex came up, and my girlfriend said how nice her beauty salon is. We were with a couple of my friends, and one of them said, "It should be nice, Sam paid for it." She asked what he was talking about, and before I could answer, my friend said, "He gave her 2 million quid." My girlfriend was quiet for the rest of the night. And then when we got back to mine, she exploded and said, "I was still in love with her, and that's why I gave her the money." She said that I wasn't normal, that no wonder a lottery winner only lives in a house like this and drives a crap car when I gave half away, that I was a gullible simp, how embarrassed she is by me, how we could be set up for life with that money and never work again, etc., etc. It went on for so long, I told her to leave as I'm going to bed and not listening to this anymore. I haven't seen her since, and she hasn't answered my calls or replied to my messages, apart from the odd insults until today, when she said that the only way she could stay with me is if I ask my ex for whatever money she has left to be returned to me so she can save face. I told her no, and I'm done with her. She again accused me of trying to buy back my ex, and I blocked her. Is this going to be a problem I have with other women going forward? Am I the a-hole for this?
Yes to the first question, no to the second one.
Yeah. I mean, like, you gotta leave her because she's greedy.
Yeah, I think he already did.
Okay,
I think he's
good.
already
Yeah,
been like,
well, yeah.
I'm literally quite done with you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody this moving
no.
forward. I think there's literally a reason why there's the pop culture trope of like,
Keep
the secret billionaire. I was dating. How many Hallmark movies exist where it's like, at the end, he's like, and actually I have $500 million.
Well, I think that it can come up
you.
once you have cemented that you're, found this nice person, and once you start talking, because you don't talk about finances right away when you start dating someone.
You don't? First thing, I'm like, how much is in your 401k?
I thought you were being so serious. I was like,
So, are we talking like a Roth IRA? What are we doing?
Yeah, you sit down. All right, give me everything that you have.
I need at least 2 years worth of tax returns.
Give me your bank statement, please.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Your Social Security would really help me out as well.
Your mother's maiden name, all of that. Comments. New York City Storyteller says, LOL, it may be a problem for other women you date going forward, but that's a good way to weed out them method. Someone who properly loves you will see that you're a good man who took care of the mother of his child and ensured that both of you can have a good life, even though you're no longer together. I think it's a green flag. Opie says, thank you so much for putting my mind at ease. I was starting to think I'd done something wrong, but I didn't know what. New York City Storyteller says, some people will say you did too much, but at the time of your win, you and your ex had only been separated for a couple of years. And if you had won it, when you were still together, you would have split it 50-50. I imagine it makes a lot of things easier for you as a co-parent, knowing that you split the win with her since she can never really say that you owe her anything for your child, and your child is well provided for. OP says, it just felt right, because what's the point in my son having one rich parent and one struggling parent? Prepare to do battle says, you did a good thing for the benefit of your child and your child's mother. Well done. OP replying to a deleted comment, I agree, but it's surprising as she never asked for anything before. Even when her car broke down and I fixed it, she tried to offer me money for it. Maxwell Killmill says, she's playing the long game, brother. That's why she erupted in anger, because she realized she made a bad bet that wasn't going to pay off like she was plotting. Absolutely. Yeah, she's waiting until she has legal right to that money, and then she's going to tell you what you get to do with it.
Exactly.
OP says, that's what my friend said. He said she was going to act like this until she had her feet under the table. Captain Clock says, your friend is correct. You did it to give your kid a stable life in both households. That, and you seem to have no ill will towards your ex. Lots of people can't say that. Her misguided belief that we wouldn't have to work is all that needs to be said. You decided to still work in a different venture. She was planning to not work at all and live off you. I'd say you got to see the true her before getting on any further. It's only been a short while. I'd walk and something else will come up. And there is an update 5 days later. But do you have any thoughts?
He's going to be like, I met the love of my life. We're getting married tomorrow. I mean, you made a good call. I'd listen to your friends.
Yeah.
Because
they clearly have your best interest at heart and are not, caring about the money that you have. I think it's just like when you have that amount of money, you got to be a little bit more picky about who you share information with, who you are friends with, who you have a relationship with.
In the words of Lil Wayne, real G's move in silence like lasagna, because the G in lasagna is silent. Anyway, keep your finances to yourself and, move forward and just see what feels right, man. It's about what feels right. Do it feel right?
Yeah, didn't feel right this time. 5 days later, she unblocked me and asked for forgiveness, but I said no. It's gone too far, and for me, it's over. She didn't take it very well, and I got bombarded with harmful messages for a day or two. But they've stopped today, as have the phone calls from a withheld number. A few people asked on the last post why I gave my ex half rather than put it in savings for our kid. Between us, we have nearly $1 million that we have put aside for him that cannot be touched and will earn interest over the years. By the way, you can earn interest with us by listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Boom.
And that is not financial advice.
It's not.
You can earn interest in terms of interest being more stories.
Mental interest.
Mental interest. But there is a little bit left to this story, folks. Your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, yeah, no, it was a good call. She's not the person for you.
You dodged the bullet.
Yep. As for the cheating, which a lot of people mentioned, we were each other's firsts for everything, and we talked about it and both admitted a few years we felt a touch of regret. We both agreed to menage a trois. So over the course of the next year or so, we had them with a few men and a few women. Unfortunately, she ended up catching feelings for one of the men. Not the end of the world and no reason for us to fall out. He's very mature about that.
Yeah, that for a lot of people is
a reason to fall out.
See, now, this is a perfect example of what it sounds like two people who actually were built for like a poly, multiple, open, whatever situation.
Yeah, well, she did cheat on him, so.
I mean, but then it got, was it? I don't even think it was cheating. I think it was did he say they were cheating? Oh, because she caught the feelings?
Because it was like.
Oh, so they still did that.
Yeah. But they were built for co-parenting. And Majay at 91 says, you're a real man. You know that, right? Like a real good one. Sacrificing half your wealth for the betterment of your child was a real power move in the realm of maturity, in my opinion. I think your kid is going to have a significantly more stable life because of your decision and receive the myriad of mental health benefits that accompany that. Be proud of yourself and screw the gold digger. Someone like that isn't worth a second thought to a man of your caliber. OP, you're making me blush. Thank you. Darkness GG says, not the a-hole. She's the woman you have a kid with, and you two did each other solid by trying to move forward together and being mature enough to split amicably and still set enough aside for your joint child. The money, I think, is fair. Whatever money you guys had before split, earned, /won would be joint. But even afterwards, taking care of the people that mean something to you is a responsible thing to do. Your girlfriend shouldn't be involved with your money. And folks, that is the end of that story.
And thank goodness it stayed your money.
Stayed your money.
Because she would have taken as much as she could get away with taking.
All of it, if she could. She said we. There's no we in that.
She was literally demanding you take back your money from your ex-wife.
And also just kind of crazy to be like, you still love her when that happened years ago.
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous.
I thought maybe from the title that he would have given the money during the relationship. No. Happened years ago.
Just an incredibly transparent play.
Truly. She's a very bad villain. Very obvious villain. But, folks, that is the end of that story.
My girlfriend went to her ex's birthday party without telling me.
Well, you're not getting a present from me.
I'm 29 male, and I've been dating my girlfriend, Lena, 27 female, for about 10 months. Things have been great overall. She's funny, smart, independent, and we've talked about maybe moving in together next year. No major issues have happened until this weekend. This comes from user dryinstruction3284, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So here's what happened. On Saturday, Lena told me she was going out with a few friends from college. Cool, no problemo. I had plans to watch the game with my brother anyway. But the next day, I saw a photo on one of her friends' Instagram stories, and the caption said, "Happy birthday, Jason." I recognized Jason. He's her ex, the one she dated for about 3 years and broke up with about a year before we met. They were pretty serious from what I've gathered. I never made a big deal about it because she told me they're on a decent terms, but not really that close. So naturally, I asked her later that night, "Hey, were you at Jason's birthday thing?" And she looked a little surprised and said, "Yeah," but quickly followed it up with, "It wasn't a big deal. It was a group thing, and I didn't think it mattered." I didn't raise my voice or accuse her of anything. I just said I wished that she had mentioned it beforehand. She got kind of defensive and said I was making something out of nothing, and that it's not like she was hiding it. But she kind of did hide it. I mean, I don't want to be controlling, and I know people stay friends with their exes, but the fact that she didn't even mention she was going to his birthday rubs me the wrong way. It just feels off. I'm not accusing her of cheating or anything, but I can't shake the feeling that she intentionally kept it vague so I wouldn't ask questions. She said she didn't think I'd care, but this whole thing just makes me feel kind of sidelined. So am I overreacting?
Nor.
It's weird. Especially her reaction, too.
Yeah, I mean, if she had nothing, if she didn't have a problem with anything, she wouldn't have reacted this way. But she did. And it's suspicious.
Yeah. At most, it would be oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That's on me.
That's
my bad.
My bad.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's fine. So, we got some relevant comments. Comment number 1. Was Lena, her friends, and Jason all part of the same friend group? Because it's weird how her friends are attending their friend's ex-boyfriend's birthday party if they aren't all in the same friend group. Not saying she's cheating on you, but I do understand why you are uncomfortable about the whole situation, especially as she got all defensive instead of reassuring you. OP replies, they were part of the same friend group in college, but I honestly didn't know that they were still close. And let alone close enough to go to a birthday. Comment number 2. I wouldn't be bothered if she was upfront. Generally, it's reasonable to ask permission of your partner if that's okay with your relationship dynamic to hang out with exes. Some people have great relationships with exes that don't have to be romantic, but it can be weird for their partners if they don't talk about it like a responsible partner would. And if after asking it isn't cool, great. Now 2 people know they have different ideas of how relationships work, and that's helpful to know. If it is cool, great, y'all are compatible. So it's still something someone should ask, not hide, and that's what I'm emphasizing here. Not asking or not even mentioning it makes something that is otherwise not suspicious very suspicious. Orange, reddish flag. I don't know her well enough to outright call it a red flag. She could just be stupid. Sorry for being blunt. OP says, the thing is, I didn't know they were still in contact. This is how I found out they are, in fact, still talking to each other. Comment 3 says, do they have kids together? If not, there is no reason to interact with an ex, which I disagree with that though. Ghost her and move on. OP says, they don't have kids together. Comment 4, there's no point in asking her this question now, but given what you know about your girlfriend, would she be cool if the shoe was on the other foot? If you ask her now, of course she'll say she'd be totally fine with it, but that is 100% gaslighting. OP replies, I know for a fact she definitely wouldn't be okay with it if it was the other way around. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an update.
It's not looking good.
I mean,
I don't know if it's like, I feel like they could get out of this. Maybe she's just being defensive because she feels like she's being accused of something.
Yeah.
That OP is not accusing her of.
Could be.
Potentially.
Maybe she hasn't cheated, but she's like, I want to.
Yeah, she was emotionally, involved. Which OP didn't know that they were even talking. So not good, not good.
I'm just trying to think of what I would genuinely do in this situation.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I think I'd be pretty sussed out.
I would too.
I'd be like, but the lie, the secret. Why did you do secret?
Well, it really personally for me, I have no problems with a partner talking to an ex. Like that is not something that I've ever really been like, "Rah." But if you lie, if you hide it.
Making it a secret is what makes it really weird now. Because it's like, okay, there's really only one reason that you do that.
Exactly. Why does it need to be a secret?
Let's get into this update. Keep your secrets. A few comments really stuck with me, especially the ones that pointed out that it's not necessarily about where she went, but how she handled it. I ended up bringing it up when she came over this evening. Nothing dramatic. I just said I'd been thinking about it and that it bothered me. Not even the party itself, but the fact that she didn't mention it. She didn't seem surprised that I brought it up. There was a bit of an eye roll at first, but she didn't push back much. She was mostly quiet. The energy in the room shifted right away. She said something vague about not wanting it to be a thing. Not much of an apology, more like trying to smooth it over and move on quickly. And maybe that's what I'm doing too in my own way. Afterwards, we kind of just moved around each other for the rest of the evening. She left very quickly after that, and right now I'm reading comments on my original post. I'm not sure where I land on all of this. Nothing exploded, but it also didn't feel resolved. She didn't seem interested in understanding why it bothered me, just in making sure that it didn't mess with the vibe. It's not a breakup level thing, not yet, but it does feel like something shifted in our relationship. And there are some more comments here. Comment 1 is, I don't know how that's not breakup worthy. She didn't tell you because she didn't want it to be a thing. That means she knew it was going to be an issue for you, or that it might cross a boundary. So she didn't give you a heads up. It was 1000% thought out, methodical, intentional. She's now gaslighting and manipulating you. She's using what you said when confronting her to justify why she hid it. See, this is why I couldn't tell you this type of crap. She sees nothing wrong with this, which is why you don't feel like it's resolved, because it isn't resolved. She wanted to go and didn't care that you wouldn't be okay with it, and now wants to move on with no consequences. She will also just hide it better next time if you do let it go. She got away with it if that's the case, after all. She's proven she only cares about herself. She doesn't care about your feelings because she clearly considered you would be upset and did it anyway. If the roles were reversed, she would likely break up with you. Yet she will repeat this behavior in the future again to please herself. She's shown you exactly who she is, and this type of lesson is only learned when you face consequences. It sounds like there have been and likely will be 0 because you sound ready to stay. Prepare yourself for the repeat behavior and further gaslighting. Comment number 2 says, her unwillingness to address this and acknowledge what she did wrong tells you everything you need to know. If she respected you, she would want to know why it upset you and would try to make it right. When she eye rolls you over her screw up, it's time to move on, OP. Comment 3 says, just like how her going wasn't the issue, it was her hiding it. The issue is now her reaction. A normal and healthy reaction to a boyfriend over this would be along the lines of, I'm so sorry, I should have told you. Instead, she's turning it around on you and admitting she hid it because she thought your reaction would be poor. And la da da la di da. Yeah, we know that's bad. She won't apologize. She should. There's a second update. You're leaving, right? Are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm gone.
After this, it's I'm not being
gone.
like, you can do your apology right now. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you messed that up so horrifically bad that I'm leaving.
You didn't apologize. She didn't apologize.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just be so like, if this was the reaction, the eye rolling really gets me. Like, how do you get an eye roll?
Yeah, I gotta assume that would have killed the conversation immediately.
Truly,
She would have rolled her eyes. I'd be like, you know what? Thank you for that.
yeah.
You can go ahead and leave.
Eye rolling is not part of adult conversation with your partner that you love, unless you're jokingly doing it. You're like, you're being so silly. Like
You're
that.
like, oh my God, you're like so
You're
cute.
so silly.
Oh my
No.
God.
Otherwise, out. Don't get that out there.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the second update. It's been about 10 days since I posted. Things between me and Lena never really got back to normal after that night. We had a few awkward conversations in the days after. Nothing explosive, but I could tell there was tension. She kept saying I was overthinking it, that it wasn't that deep, but the way she avoided the topic or brushed it off just made me feel worse. The whole situation stuck with me more than I expected. It wasn't even about the party itself anymore. It was more how she handled it. It became pretty clear that we look at communication in relationships really differently. I felt like I couldn't fully trust her to be upfront, and once that feeling crept in, it was hard to shake. By the way, you can move and shake your way down over to more full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts. All you gotta do is search OK Storytime.
You silly little goose. Just search up OK Storytime.
And you can listen to 2,500 plus episodes.
That's so many.
It's almost too many. You gotta listen to them.
Ooh-wee.
So,
Maybe take a weekend off. I mean, a weekday. Take an extended weekend.
take a hiatus. Take a sabbatical.
Take a sabbatical so you can listen to all of our stories.
Yes. So let's finish this story. We ended up having a more serious talk this past weekend. She admitted she didn't tell me about the party because she, quote, knew how I'd react, which kind of confirmed the whole point for me. I don't want to be with someone who feels like they need to hide things to keep the peace.
Woo! Woo! Obi, you did it!
Yay!
You did it!
We got there.
Woo!
We didn't fight. It was more of a mutual, quiet decision to end things. It just felt like we were on different pages and forcing it wasn't going to help either of us. Obviously, it sucks. I didn't want it to go this way. But in hindsight, I'm glad I trusted my gut. That uneasy feeling never really went away, and I think I'd rather deal with the short-term hurt now than drag this out. That's all. Not much more to say, except for these top comments.
Yay!
Comment 1, she admitted she didn't tell me because she knew how I'd react. That's the go-to response of someone who isn't being honest in a relationship. She wouldn't have liked it if you did it to her, but instead of being honest about her plans that evening, she decided to play keep away with the information, knowing it's not a good look on her part, and didn't want to be called out on it. And commenter 2 says, in my opinion, you did the right thing. And there's just more stuff we've already said.
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
You did the right thing. It wasn't going to work out if she was going to behave like that. You don't want to build a relationship with someone who cannot apologize. My girlfriend let me sleep with her friend who was already taken?
I think you mastered the art of the deal.
I, 34 male, have been with my girlfriend, 39 female, for almost 6 years. We were friends for years before that. We have a non-monogamous relationship. I don't say poly because we don't have multiple relationships. And the term open often gives the wrong connotation. So non-mon fits the bill. Either way, we are committed to each other, but sometimes have spicy sleep with other people. By the way, this comes from throwaway 181856. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I should note that I am naturally non-monogamous. I knew from my teen years that I did not enjoy the jealousies and spicy related prison feelings of monogamous relationships. Since then, I've been very honest about my feelings towards anyone who may be a potential partner. Current girlfriend, who we'll call Laura, was hesitant at first. This was her first foray into anything open. I would never coerce or browbeat anyone to be in something they don't want to be in. But she eagerly decided to give it a try. We eased in gently. We set up specific rules and boundaries, as many non-mon couples do. Some of the basics: protection, protection, protection. Always be honest with each other. No friends, family, coworkers on either side. No helping others to cheat, i.e. no sleeping with married, partnered peeps unless they have a similar arrangement. There are others, but those are pertinent. We had no issues until fairly recently. A couple years ago, Laura got a new coworker we'll call Jill. Jill quickly became a good friend to both of us and hung out with the friend group. When Jill learned that we are non-mon, she approached me one day after a few drinks to test the waters. I shut her down quickly but respectfully, as both friend and coworker rules would be broken. She took it well and didn't bring it up again. I also told Laura, who let me know Jill said something to her too. At least a year went by and it doesn't become a deal. Last year, Laura had a work function in another state. Right before she left, Jill lost her job. The both of us consoled her for days before Laura had to go. Once she landed and got to her hotel, she called. I told her that I was hanging out with her friends that night. Jill's name came up. Before long, Laura said I should help her have a nice weekend. Soon, she got much more explicit about what she meant. I tried to explain what a bad idea that would be, especially with her vulnerable. Laura was insisting I at least consider it. After a long conversation, I told her I would. I really don't like that your partner is telling you who you should be hooking up with.
Yeah, what are you, contractually obligated?
I really hate that.
What are you, on a team?
Yeah,
Like, we're tapping you in.
You should make her feel better. No.
Especially being like, I feel like this wouldn't make her feel better at all. And then she's still like, yeah, but
that's so
think about
weird. I knew that the smartest thing to do at this point would be just agree with Laura, but actually do nothing. Later in the day, I see friends along with Jill, and after a bit, we end up alone. Yeah, I know. I bring up what Laura said, I know, and she seemed shocked. Says she had to think about it. No issue, of course, but after some time and a few drinks, another side of Jill comes out. Long story short, we end up at her place. I know. We basically had ourselves an unclothed weekend. I know. Truth is, I thought it all turned out fine at first. Jill and I were safe and had a good talk about expectations and our future friendships. We left that weekend with a great understanding and respect. Laura gets home and we continue our lives just as before. Jill gets a new job and a nice boyfriend named Mark, who I had met before through friends. She says that they got together not long after our weekend. We all got along well and hang out constantly. Yesterday, crap got effed. Mark came over as I was home alone, and I could tell he was off. I let him inside, and before long, he asked what happened between Jill and me. I knew this could always be a possibility, as I couldn't just tell him before, "Oh, hey, I slept with your girlfriend last year, by the way." But I figured Jill would say something eventually if they got more serious. So I laid it out for him, letting him know that, of course, it was before he and Jill were together. He got pissed at me and lets me know that's not true. Shows me messages. Come to find out, he was right. He and Jill officially got together a few weeks before Laura was out of town. I felt gutted. Mark could tell that I didn't know and that this bothered me, so he doesn't seem to be pissed at me now. More than anything, both of us are livid at Jill. He lets me know that they won't make it and that he doesn't think we'll be friends anymore. I don't like it, but I understand. I called Jill after, demanding an explanation. I get a tearful apology, but then later comments like, "At least we gotta have our fun, right?" Whoa, yikes. I mean, okay, well, there's a little bit more. So
wait, Jill said that?
Jill said that.
So was she just pretending when you came up to her and she was like, "I'm shocked. I have no idea what you're talking about."
What?
She had to have talked to Laura, and then Laura was like, "You should totally try to get with Jill." Are we already? Is anyone else at the point where it's like, why can't we just be single and none of this is a mess?
Well, I think that it's not even about being single. It's just about making smart decisions. Like, you guys put boundaries in place. You said, no coworkers, no friends. And then your partner said, "Oh, you should hook up with my friend/coworker." And you said, "Okay, yeah." I mean, you didn't say it as easily, but you still did it. You still made that conscious decision, and it turned out a lot messier, but you already knew it was going to be messy, which is why you had those rules. So, yeah, it wasn't going to work out because you didn't follow the rules that you put in place to keep it from becoming messy.
You said, "My rules were made to be broken by me."
I'm disgusted and angry, so when Laura got home, I just hung up. We sat down, and I started to explain it all to her. But her reaction wasn't what I expected. I realized She knew. I asked her, and to her credit, she quickly confirmed. She effing knew Jill was with someone when I slept with her. Now I'm in tears. She tries to console me, saying that she thought it would be okay since we're open. She'd never used the word before, and Jill was going through a rough patch. She actually told me, I wanted you to do it since she always liked you, and I knew only you could give her what she really needed. I lost my crap. Screamed at her. She looked genuinely scared. She started crying and trying to talk me down, but I feel so betrayed. I left and went to another friend's house. I consider him a good friend, but he's not as close with the rest of the previously mentioned friend group. He's always been great emotional support for me over the years. He offered a bed for the night, and I told him and his wife what happened. Their reaction was the knockout I didn't need. They basically said I should expect this with my type of lifestyle. His wife practically scoffed, saying the word. It made me feel like a victim that got blamed for wearing a skirt. I left there, and now I'm on a hotel bed in my own hometown. I've got dozens of missed calls and texts from everyone mentioned in this story, plus a few more. I haven't returned any. I called off work. I've eaten 1 bag of crackers in the last 24 hours. I'm still wearing the same clothes I had on when Mark came over. I don't know what to do. I feel like I've lost a girlfriend and 3 good friends yesterday. Obviously, I wish I never slept with Jill. Things like this are exactly why we have these dang rules in the first place. But why can't any of them, except maybe Mark, see how betrayed I am? By the way, you would be betraying us if you didn't listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Can you read that one more time, that last sentence? Because...
But why can't any of them, except maybe Mark, see how betrayed I feel?
I have a theory. It's because all of this was done between you and your partner. So if you talked to your partner, agreed to do what she said, and then did the thing, where's the betrayal? You betrayed yourself more than anybody.
I think that OP absolutely has some measure of culpability in breaking the literal boundaries that he put in place to prevent all of this stuff. However, I absolutely think that his girlfriend has betrayed trust by saying, by lying to him and saying that, oh yeah, I knew that she was with a partner.
1 trillion %.
Yeah. It's like, no, it wasn't going to work out because you broke your own rules, but also she absolutely has betrayed your trust. And
right. Because they were already together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, my answer was only to the question of why do they not get it? And it's because y'all were in a situation where, I mean, you literally agreed to it and then did it.
Yeah.
She just lied to you about the nature of it, which
is not okay.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
And that's why your trust is totally gone. But you can see maybe on the outside, people be like, I don't understand.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Like on the outside, it doesn't look good for you.
Yeah.
It's a mix of things. Like you were involved in the reason why it was messy. You were not at all to blame for being lied to.
Correct.
That's not okay.
You were to blame for doing all the stuff that you knew you were doing because you kept saying, I know.
Like you were to blame for that stuff because you willingly did that.
Yeah.
However, none of the other stuff is your fault, and your girlfriend absolutely break up with her because she lied to you. And so did Jill. I was basically cheated on. In fact, I wish Laura had gone and screwed 50 guys and tried to cover it up, then do what she did. She made me the effing cheater. I don't think I want to end 6 years over this. I think you have to. But it will not be easy to forgive. I don't know how to even look at Jill anymore. The rest of our friends, I'm sure they know now. Several of them have reached out, but I haven't answered. Will they think anything other than we're all getting what we deserve for being non-mon heathens or whatever? Comment 1 says, I'll be honest, I don't think you ended 6 years over this. She did. If she can so easily break one of your ground rules, then she can break all of them and probably is. I'm sorry, but I don't think you can come back from this. In non-mon relationships, trust and rules are what make it work, and she has broken both. Sorry you lost friends, but I think the girlfriend can go. Comment 2, my guy, I suspect she had broken some of those rules herself already, and encouraging you to was a way to make herself feel better. Yeah. Comment 3, as someone who is not familiar with your kind of lifestyle, I don't think that your friends are trying to be a-holes by saying what they said. I would think that a situation like this may be likely not because you would seek out people in a relationship to sleep with, but because plenty of taken people lie and cheat with third parties by saying they're single. I don't know your friends, but they must care about you since they offered you a place to stay when you needed it. You don't need to keep pushing everyone away and dodging everyone's phone calls. You were betrayed by your girlfriend and Jill, but you don't need to seclude yourself away from everyone else because they don't fully understand your relationship. Also, don't beat yourself up over what happened. You were clearly used, and the person who had the most reason to hate you already acknowledged that you were not at fault. Yeah, that's a great point. Mark doesn't blame you. So, it's not your fault. You were betrayed. You were manipulated.
Yeah.
You were used.